I always felt that I wanted to stay in Nottingham, but I always felt that I didn't really have a big enough connection with, or enough connection with an art scene. There was always an aim, especially for me, but I think for the others as well, to maybe add something or have another kind of outlet.
Well, Moot's been operational for 1 year tomorrow, actually.
Establishing the space came from setting up the studios, which is what we did directly after university. It was the offices of a previous photographer's studio, and so we just basically stripped that and spent about a month making it into not a perfect white cube space, because we wanted to leave some characteristics and certain elements that maybe people could use in their work.
We have made a point about going and travelling around the country and trying to kind of source out artists. They're mainly kind of very young and quite emerging.
We just wanted to supply an artist that we felt would gain a lot from being given a show. We felt like it would be good to kind of offer somebody a space that they could come and work in, and hopefully work specifically with the space. I think we've always tried to give people money for materials and to be paid a little bit for the show as well, because I think especially when you first maybe leave your degree or your MA, it's trying to find paid work it can be a struggle.
We want to give them the opportunity to kind of make new work and to exhibit it and to get it out there. And I think what we do is we provide opportunities with artists. We make a point about going to BA and MA shows, and all four of us go. We go around them and we kind of make notes about which artists we like, and whether what we would provide those artists would be any benefit to them.
It was quite nice to have that relationship with people that were quite young in their careers, because we were both learning at the same time.
It's just as much about whether you can work with that person as well as the integrity of their work, their artwork. We just somehow make it all happen. We don't define roles. There's four of us that run the space. We've never set out to identify roles.
Basically, we'll take on all the tasks at different times. So each show, maybe like somebody will take on like more the graphics work for like the promotion, but then the next person will do it for a different show.
I think it's come from being such good friends at uni, living together at uni, even having a studio space very close to each other at university. We're all integral to the way that this happens.
We all want to get involved with everything. So, I mean, naturally, roles have evolved. My own role, I'm the treasurer, so I've got the key to the money.
I don't think Moot would be what it is if it was just me, or if it was just Matt, or whether it was just Tristan. It's very important that there's the four of us, and I couldn't really say that I had a role. The fair itself is organised by a gallery called Keith Talent Gallery. They represent an artist called Gordon Dalton, who had our second show. I think he had fun, got on very well with us, and that's another important aspect. It's you've got to get on with people in order to make things happen as well. He went back to Keith Talent, who represent him, and told them about us, and then this art fair came about, and they invited us to be a part of it. We had to pay, but we got invited, which was quite nice.
We wanted to control the way the show looked more than we had other shows. So we went and we met artists who we'd already worked with and selected work, and so this been quite heavily curated, this show. That was the nice part, that's the fun part, and then there's the coordinating, the logistics, packaging all the artwork takes ages, and without a budget this wouldn't have been possible. So we set out to get sponsorship for this fair. So I spoke to Nottingham-Trent, who've helped us out. Thank you. The Arts Council helped us out.
Started from scratch and we didn't actually know how to do anything, which was fun at the time as well. But we had to approach people like Angel Rowe. We approached people at the Broadway Cinema, helping us doing press releases. With funding, we just basically went and talked to the Arts Council and asked them how we went about like actually getting hold of money. We didn't have any experience of doing funding before.
Marketing plays a huge role in what we do. And I'm not a fan of marketing campaigns, exactly, but these are skills you have to learn. You have to know how to conduct yourself in meetings. You're meeting someone from the council, someone from business, and you want some money, and you need to know how to talk to that person.
With running a gallery is skills that I think can only really be learned when you're thrown into it. I don't think it's not a process that I think could be taught.
It's hard work, yeah, and it often involves working until the early hours, to get things done. But yeah, you've got opportunities just come out of nowhere when you're not expecting it.
Since running Moot, us as artists, we've just gained so much knowledge, so much interest, and our own practice has really excelled itself because of all the art that we're exposed to.
You may go to a gallery and see a group show or a series of works by a particular person, but behind that is actually a hell of a more stuff than you'd actually think goes on, and that's probably what we've learned.
It comes down to little things often, just like printing on thick paper and just like taking pride over what you do. Art school maybe doesn't prepare you, but what it does do is gives you a 3-year run at just indulgently developing your practice and ideas. And I don't think it's such a bad thing if you don't learn how to operate a gallery or the pragmatics of being an artist, because I think it's important people find their own way of doing that, and that's how you get change occurs through people redefining sort of operational models, how you make things happen.
Maybe funding, I think, is a thing that everybody's going to have to do really, if they want to support their practice, especially at the beginning stages. That would be a good thing to introduce, because that can be slightly daunting, which it was for us when we first started it. But generally, just to clue people up on generally what might happen to them when they first leave.
To never compromise the content of your activity. So, I mean, we would never kind of show anything that we weren't that into because it was going to get us somewhere, or because it was going to meet someone's criteria to get money. It's very, very important to us. We make sure we do things on our own terms, and our reputation grows from that.
The art fair is a new sort of thing for us to do, and we're not commercial galleries, so if we make any money, it would be great. And it's really made us think that we shouldn't be tied down by sort of Arts Council funding and applications, so perhaps we should think about this commercial aspect a little bit more, maybe try to do some more art fairs, get to know some more dealers or collectors and try to make money in that way. And I think that's probably what we're going to focus towards perhaps. But also, we need to make sure that we do good shows at the same time.